What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So, I know that popularity is key in crypto, but a lot of other people don't know that. A lot of people don't understand and they more or less go the wrong route in most cases, to where they focus a lot on things that didn't get them to the place that they want to get to. Now, there's certain people out there that are validators, that became validators where I don't believe that we even need that many validators, especially mixing validators with somebody that's a person on YouTube or a person on, Twitter or whatever, right? If you are a group and that's your sole purpose and your sole focus, I totally understand. That makes sense, right? You are spending all of your time and energy to put towards that. But when it comes to being a validator, there's a lot of things that come into play, and I feel like some people kind of just have a conflict of interest. So I just want to say that about certain people, certain places. I don't have any connections within the YouTube space or Twitter space, and I don't care for making any of those connections because it doesn't matter to me. But you know what? I don't need any type of validation from anybody, because I've seen a lot of ideas that I had get, passed over. And a ton of those ideas, if they were taken up, they would have made a difference, especially when it comes to Shiba Inu, especially when it comes to Dogecoin, especially when it comes to a lot of different plays that are out there. But when we look at Terra Luna Classic, the community is a big driving force and has a large input into what gets done. Now, we've seen from the beginning everybody be all about the burn tax, all about 1.2%. And then we spent however many months building it up, and we got 3 months through it, and we were like, this is not working. Let's decrease it to zero point 0.2. For what reason? The reason was that we wanted CEXs to get on board, right? There was a lot of people that were like, if it's lower, then CEXs will get on board. Speculation. Most likely it's not the case. And that's exactly what happened. They're not getting on board, right? Then other people were like, oh, well, it's not about that. It's also about the volume. The volume will increase. We'll see if we divide this by 6, we'll see the volume increase by 6. Well, that didn't happen. The volume actually decreased, stayed the same in some days, but decreased. Over the later days, over these days that we're seeing, it actually increased a little bit because of all the fear that's in the market. Um, so when I made a video and talked about on Twitter that I suggested that we move to 3%, people were like, "You're insane for moving to 3%. What 1.2% didn't work? So what do you think that 3% is going to do?" Um, well, I understand that certain D apps wouldn't be able to function because they have multiple transactions that go through, right? Multiple transactions having the 3% tax is basically like they're not going to be making any type of money at all, not going to be able to live on, right? I understand business, I understand how it works. But in any case, whenever you want to get to a better situation, you know, people have to struggle. Everybody has to struggle in a way. If we feel like we're all just going to get to where we need to get to with no type of wear and tear on our own pockets, and also, DApps are not going to struggle as well for a little bit, um, you're delusional. So I talk about popularity all the time because popularity runs the crypto space. Without popularity, a lot of these use cases don't even exist. A lot of these plays don't even exist, right? Bitcoin doesn't even have a use case right now. Yes, it has a thought of a use case, but it doesn't, right? It uses so much energy in order to mine Bitcoin that it's just ridiculous. It's not environmentally friendly. Now, I'm not bagging on Bitcoin, but I'm letting you know that popularity really runs Bitcoin, and the thought of what the use case will be, the thought of what it will be in the future, is what runs it. That's what drives the use case or drives the coin up, the popularity. And then you have things like Dogecoin that does not have any type of utility. However, it ran up to $100 billion market cap. Solana has utility, but you see a ton of hype behind it. Without the hype, without different exchanges that are putting money into it, without different liquidity pools, all those different things, you're not seeing that push up. Same thing with Lunic. The reason why Lunic got to this point, you gotta remember that I'm the first person that talked about this Terra Luna Classic during the crash and the fact that it was an opportunity. The reason why I saw it as an opportunity is because I understand what the community would have been. I put money into it at a level to where $40 will get you 63 million. That turned into $22,000, right? That's amazing. $40 to $22,000. I believed in the position and I believed in what it could be. I saw the supply and I said, if that supply can burn down, if we can implement something to where normal transactions can burn off so much, we can worry about use case after the fact and get it back to the normal way that it was after the fact, right? Get the algorithm back in place, get, USTC, repegged, all these different things that we wanted, we could have gotten. Now we did focus on the burn and we had the 1.2% and that didn't work. And technically it was working. It was going through the motions, just like it's going through the motions now. And we see the volume that we have now with all the fear, that would have created more burns, which would essentially created more hype in the position because it's burning more. But then we focused on Binance and we had a lot of influencers that said, oh, Binance is going the right route by doing this 0.1%. When they were about to do 1.2%, but realized how much it would impact their own holdings and not everybody else, because KuCoin holding 300 billion, you would see them sit at a certain level. Binance is up here at 2.3, 2.6 trillion. And you know what happens? They burn off their supply. KuCoin's not moving. They're burning off their supply. Yes, they get to a point to where they're equal, or Binance has less. And now, KuCoin's sitting pretty in that area to where they hold more and they look better for that decision of not burning for what they are holding. And then Binance gets himself into a horrible situation. That's the reason why they didn't implement the opt-in button with the 1.2%. So they decided to go to the 0.1% and also launch Binance Convert during. But everybody else thought it was an amazing idea. And the fact that they're burning anything is a blessing. I don't care if they're burning. The things that they are burning is not going to make a difference whatsoever. The burns that may come out of, IBC, maybe that will make a difference depending on if people look at that and actually support a lot of this utility as well. Because remember, the money has to come from somewhere in order to spend the money in some of these areas, just like NFTs. You buy NFTs, you're spending the money there, you're seeing the transactions burn, maybe a certain portion of the profits end up burning as well. That ends up helping out so much. But there's so much support for certain things that should not get support because they're pushed by people who don't know what the hell they're talking about, especially when it comes to popularity. Maybe they know a ton more about blockchain than I do. That's probably believable. They know a ton more about blockchain. Understandable. They have time to read. I don't. I'm the only one that has a family here, and I don't have time to go through all of this different stuff. But I can tell you that I understand where popularity goes. I know I studied all of this in school. So, and I'm not saying that school teaches you exactly what you're doing here. A lot of times you're learning by failing, and I've failed and I've learned. I understand how markets work. I understand how popularity works. The crazy thing is, the stock market, people are running it like it is a stock market. With SHIB Energy, people let me show you this tweet. So this tweet came from Classy Crypto, which again, he tends to disagree with everything that I'm saying, and I didn't really know who he was until probably like 4 months ago. Once this Terra Luna Classic thing started to really roll, that's when he made a video about me and someone told me about what he had said. And I was just like, okay, that's fine. Everybody can have their opinion. But he comes on here and says, there are two methods I'm not against, to be honest, right? Which he totally, contradicts himself by going into 1 and 2 by saying the Matt Perry model, basically embracing full meme energy, which again was coined by traditional media to give a label to anything that's popular that doesn't maybe have a use case yet. So they could say the same thing, and I understand that Bitcoin's not an altcoin, but they could say the same thing for something that doesn't have a use case right now, and that's pretty popular. We looked at Dogecoin again. It got to 100 plus, or not 100 plus, but around 90 to 100 billion dollar market cap. And then he goes on to say, push for a SHIB narrative long term, or number 2, to where Luna projects and you launch them on Lunic. Now, you launch them on Lunic, it also depends on people making moves. Right now, people have the mindset of gaining profit. It's not really about utility right now. Whether people say it is or it's not, It's not about utility right now. The mindset of the investors within Terra Luna Classic is purely around turning this into this. Popularity drives something forward. Yes, creating utility is perfect, but to think that that's going to do a massive amount of burns at a 0.2% burn tax, you're not seeing what's really going to happen. Now, what will be good is when we do have this buy button, and the buy button will produce so much out of it to where we can now see more volume that's happening on there, and maybe we end up seeing a lot more transactions that are going through at 0.2%, which would be amazing. And again, I will come on here and I will literally admit, and I admit anytime when I am wrong. Anytime that I'm wrong, I will admit when I'm wrong and say, this didn't work out. I thought at one point the 0.2% was actually increasing volume. However, it was validator day. Then I looked at it recently and you see volume is increasing and you know that it's fear that's driven within the market. So I came out and said that I thought that I was wrong and that it's great to be able to see some volume increasing. And then literally within the hour of posting that, I figured out, and I didn't even know that for some reason, it just didn't cross my mind, that you saw a lot of volume move in there because of validators. Speaking of validators, he's a validator. And I don't think there should be a mix or a conflict of interest when it comes to validators and YouTubers. That's the reason why I didn't become a validator. I don't want any type of massive push outside of it to sit here and just convince everybody that something is worth more than others, or something means more than others, or something will have more of an impact than others to vote with mine. And no matter what, if I have 10% or 20%, I'm going to vote that way because I feel that way. No matter what, all of the followers below me, that follow, your validatorship and stake with your validatorship, they're sitting here telling you, oh, well, you know what? I don't believe in that. But then you know what? You believe a certain way, so you vote a certain way. I feel like it's just a huge conflict of interest. And if you're not putting that much into it, it really doesn't make sense for someone to be a validator there. I like Happy Caddy Crypto to be a validator. He seems to know a lot about what he's talking about and has been involved since the beginning. And that's why I've always talked positively about Happy Caddy Crypto. He's always done things the right way. Whether it was stepping aside when he felt like there was some controversy in a way, and some sort of disagreement, and you feel like things aren't really gelling out, he's able to step away and be mature. That's what we need, right? So anyways, we need maturity. But anyways, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to leave it at that. There's a ton more that I can add to this, but I'm not. And I'm going to leave it there because there's definitely a lot more here to where I can go, I'm right in this instance, and we could have had something even bigger. For Shiba Inu, and developing Shiba Inu narrative, understand that people are trying to, like I said, run things like a business when it shouldn't be run like a business, at least not for now. We should be looking at this to understand how big this community can grow, show the opportunities, show what it is doing. And then as we start to approach lower supplies, we can completely X out the burn tax or lower the burn tax a hell of a lot and, get back to just normal and maybe even see more utility with more popularity. But anyways, guys, that's my video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. I'm going to get out of here. I'll catch you guys in the next video.